Welcome to MMA Inside the Cage, bringing the world of mixed martial arts straight to you. I'm your host, Cyrus Fiza, and next to me, the hardest working man in MMA, Mr. Casey Oxenheim.
All right, that's true. Man, all I'm trying to do is overachieve in the sport we call mixed martial arts. You know, that means staying up late, burning that midnight oil, then getting up early, kind of early sometimes, you know, and but getting in there, training these guys, and then scouring the planet for the top fights across the world.
No doubt about it, man. 3 more exciting fights as we debut 2 more international organizations. I feel like we should pace ourselves a bit, but it's just so much fun bringing all these new organizations into the fold. Also coming up tonight, we'll bring Ladies Love Nate Jolly into the studio to talk about his big matchup with former world champion Jamie C4 Varner. That one's going to headline XFC in Orlando, live on HDNet. Are you ready for that trip?
Man, I can't wait to get on that big white bird and roll on down to Orlando, man. But you know there's going to be a lot of preparation involved because you know when Nate Jolly comes, he comes fully loaded.
No doubt about that. Let's get to our first fight of the night. It's time to introduce the first of 2 promotions to this episode. Let's head on to Vegas, and we're talking about the king of Muay Thai in Las Vegas, Lion Fight Promotions. Now let's talk about the backstory. You got the guy Scott Kent, the CEO, makes a ton of money in the casino business, then decides to focus his attention, his money, on keeping Muay Thai relevant in the States. Now, Casey, what do you think it is that, you know, actual Muay Thai fights and these big events have kind of lost steam over the years?
Well, I wouldn't say they've lost steam. You know, over in Thailand, where it's the national sport, you know, people travel across the globe to see these fights. They're fantastic. They stand in front of each other and they bang, and that's what we're bringing to you tonight.
That's right, man. It's some of the most exciting fighting that you're going to see, and we love knockouts, and you always get some really good knockouts with Muay Thai. Now, Lion Fight, fairly new. They have 3 fights under their belt, but they're just catching steam. You've seen some of these fights. You've seen the production. It's a very good product, Casey. What do you think they need to do to make that big push here in the States?
Well, like I said, the product sells itself, man. Turn on the television, watch MMA Inside the Cage, and you're going to see it all.
Absolutely, man. So exciting. Well, the next big event is November 19th in the home of Lion Fight, the Star of the Desert Arena at Buffalo Bills in Primm, Nevada. Check out lionfightpromotions.com to find out how you can see the next big show. Our first fight is from Lion Fight Promotions from Battle of the Desert 3. Here it is, featuring your MMA Inside the Cage Punch of the Week.
There's obvious respect for each other, but obvious dislike
at the same time. You're exactly right.
No touch of gloves.
No
These
touch
guys
of gloves.
Getting ready to go.
They're just going to go to work.
Joe feigning a little bit to get this thing started. Joe throws a combination.
Good combination. That was a slip. That was a slip. Joe was ready to do a spinning back elbow. He caught the arm and was ready to do a spinning back elbow.
You can tell that Joe's definitely throwing with bad intentions.
Yes, it looks like his shots are a lot harder and with a lot more damage than Brandon.
Nice left hook, right hand, right hand.
Here comes the elbow. Yes, that's another technique that's used to keep the leg from going up. There you have it. Teep to the face.
There's multiple ways to use this teep as well. I've noticed that some guys use it as a jab, and then some people go to the head with it.
Yes.
Some people use it. Oh,
he's out. A knee to the face. A knee to the face. Wow.
It's the art of the 8 limbs. It's amazing.
It's amazing. And he is out. I hope he's okay, but he is knocked out cold.
Sweet revenge for Joe.
Wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout ends at 2 minutes 38 seconds of the first round. The winner by knockout victory, and now the new WBC USA Light Heavyweight Champion, Joe Shelley.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage. Round 2 action. Cyrus Fees alongside Casey Oxendine. So our main event of the week coming up later in the show where we introduce another international organization. But now let's talk about the big XFC card on October 21st in Orlando. XFC 14 Resurrection. Now main event is a guy trying to resurrect his career, coming off a couple of losses, but still very good. Jamie Varner going against the guy that is regarded one of the best fighters in Southeast, XFC veteran. Ladies love Nate Jolly. Let's bring him in right here. He's here in our studio. Nate Jolly, welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage.
Nice seeing you again.
Well, it's always good to have you here on the show, Nate. Now, this is big news for you. Heck, this is huge news for you, getting to fight Jamie Varner. Would you say this is the biggest fight of your career?
I would definitely say this is the biggest fight of my career, but you know why it's the biggest fight of my career? Because every fight is the biggest fight of my career. I put my heart and soul into every single fight that I will go into.
All right, that's true. Now, Casey, you know this guy real well. You coach him. You've been coaching him for a while through all of his biggest victories. How big of a feather of the cap is this to have him fighting, you know, a former WEC champion in Jamie Varner?
Jamie Varner's a big deal, man. But this man right here is the top fighter in the Southeast. Hands down, he's my best friend, and we're coming to Bang come October 21st.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the fight, man, how this thing's going to go down. Now, Varner is a very well-regarded wrestler. Everybody knows that he has great wrestling skills, but you're no slouch either. You wrestled for Cumberland College. You were a champion as well. Worked out with the world team. Do you think you can neutralize him during your fight? Can you neutralize Jamie Varner's wrestling skills?
Well, I think the real question is, can you neutralize my wrestling skills? I've had 13 pro fights, and there's not a single guy I haven't taken down, you know, in every fight that I've ever had. So the real question comes to whether he can neutralize my takedown skills.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the fight a little bit more. I mean, what do you think it's going to be? What's going to be the thing that puts you over as far as getting a victory over a former champ?
Well, you know, he is a former champ. He has some mental toughness, and I think he might be making a mistake of underestimating my mental toughness. But when it comes down to it, this fight's going to be like every other fight you've ever seen Nate Jolly in. He's going to go in, he's going to punch a guy in the face, he's going to take him down, double leg him through the roof, and punch him in the face some more. That's the game.
Just like that's the formula. Okay. Now, a lot of people are saying you're an underdog in this fight. How does that sit with you? And I'm going to ask the same thing to Casey.
Well, you know, I've been an underdog in almost every fight. The way it goes, and Casey can attest to this, somebody calls us up, we roll to their town, I beat up their hometown hero or homeboy or whatever it is, and I roll back home.
Okay. XFC 7, XFC 9, he was underdog in both of those. Johnny Cardona the first time, trained by Pablo Popovich. No way Nate Jolly can win. XFC 9, here comes Frankie Knuckles. He comes in there. No way that he can win. Kid's undefeated. Nate takes home the victory on national television. That's what it is. Underdogs don't exist. What happens is he brings it. He's going to bring it home October 21st, and that's the way it's going down.
All right, well, enough said. There's nothing wrong with that. Now, okay, you're sitting at 10-3 in your career, Nate. Okay, that's where you're at. You fought top competition. Do you feel like this is your one big shot? I mean, do you feel like you're at a point where you need to win this fight?
You know, Cyrus, I need to win every fight for me.
Okay.
But, you know, as far as to answer your question, yeah, of course it's a big opportunity. The guy's a former world champion. And if I'm going to prove that I have what it takes to be a world champion, I got to beat him. And that's exactly what I plan on doing October 21st down at the XFC.
Okay. Well, enough said, man. Well, for our second fight of the night, we happen to have a fight of yours, and it's you versus Frank Santora. That's right. We got the hookup through XFC. John Prisco and all the people down there got us this footage, and we're very appreciative of that. This is real action-packed stuff. This is a great fight, Casey.
Oh, it was a wonderful fight. You know, like we said, we went down there. You know, he was a huge underdog. You know, Frankie Knuckles is a good fighter, man, out of Gracie Baja, Orlando. Good kid, nice kid, much respect to him. But you know, Nate Jolly delivered that night.
Okay, well, let's take a look at it. It's from the XFC. It's Nate Jolly, Frank Santora, right here on MMA Inside the Cage.
You have any questions? You have any questions? Hook them up and let's do this.
This is going to be a good one. A second fight here tonight on XFC 9. Big hello to Anthony Lane watching on HD Net from Ozone Park in Queens, New York. Anthony Lane, hope you're enjoying all the live action here on your home for mixed martial arts HD Net fights. Michael Chabello, Guy Mezger with you cage side as we get underway. 3-by-5. Frankie Santor making his return to the ring after having broken his right foot back in April. Let's see how that rear leg of the orthodox fighter holds up here. The fast hands of Frankie Knuckles Santor.
Yeah, he has very fast hands. That's what he needs to keep doing.
Set it up with the jab as he throws the right hand with a lead punch again. He gets collected on the inside with a short left hook. Takedown here from Jolly. It's going to be a heavy one. The boom shakalaka. There it is. And Jolly inside control.
Wasn't that devastating of a slam? You know, Santor did a really good job of clinging on, slipping those arms up.
long legs of Frankie Knuckles Santor. 3 right hands through the guard. Santor tries to pull the head down and control the posture here of Nate Jolly.
Pretty strong, pretty strong.
Swings the legs. And this will be all. First round comes to a close. Guy Mezger, how did Mezger Vision see it after line for a 38% landing ratio? Jolly also landing 14 ground strikes in the first round. Santor landing 5 on the ground.
Santor needs to really put his boxing together. You know, I was expecting, since his father was a boxer, that we'd see a little bit more out of that. He needs to continue to do that. He needs to throw a lot of techniques, be able to buzzsaw punches. That's going to make it very difficult for Jolly to want to come in and try to shoot on him.
Good outside thigh kick from Santor to open up the second of 3. Good control so far from Jolly. Lands his 13th strike.
See, now that's what he needed to do, is get him up against Case. Now he has a much better opportunity to get that takedown.
And there it is, nicely done inside the guard. Goes Frank Santor.
Oh man, that was good. That was very good. Not your most classic escape I've ever seen, but it definitely worked for him. You know, okay, now this is where both these guys have got to get busy. This fight is fairly close here. I mean, this round is fairly close. This is where they need to start deciding
who's going to control now from Nate Jolly. Short elbow to the orbital bone there of Frankie Santor. Santor trying to land an elbow of his own off the right arm. 2 rounds down, 1 round remaining.
Wrestler who is, oh wow, interesting takedown. not your most technical takedown.
Feet as a pro, he's 4-0 coming in. Nate Jolly 4-1, lands the right hand, doubles up on it. Tries to pass, takes the back here of Santor as Jolly drills in that right hand again. Santor getting on his back once more, and that's how it ends. 3 rounds. It's gone down to the judges for the first time here tonight at XFC 9 Evolution.
We're going to go to the scorecards for this one. Judge Ross scores it 30-27. Judge Torres scores the fight 29-28. And Judge Ballas scores the fight 30-27 for your winner by unanimous decision. Ladies love Nate Jolly!
The ladies love does it. Nate Jolly improves his record now to 5-1. A unanimous decision. All 3 judges giving it 2 of them 30-27. So 2 of those judges giving 3-10-9 plus.
Welcome back to MMA Inside the Cage. 3rd round action. Cyrus Feast, Casey Oxenine. We have our guest tonight, Mr. Ladies Love Nate Jolly. Now, Nate, is there anybody else you want to thank before you go into this fight? Maybe some of your sponsors.
Well, of course. You know, I always want to thank, you know, my supportive fans and my fight team.
The ladies.
Them, well, I'm getting to that, right? That's a special thanks. But, you know, without them, I couldn't do this. I wouldn't be able to perform and things like that. So I definitely got to give a shout out to my fight team, my coach, Casey Oxendine. Also, new Nate Jolly shirts coming out thanks to Overthrow Fight Gear. A great company. Those things are going to be on sale, 20 bones a piece. Hit me up on Facebook or something like that. All right? And obviously, thank you to the ladies.
Well, we look forward to it. October 21st. That's XFC 14 Resurrection. Now it's time to get into our 3rd fight of the night, our main event of the night. We've already debuted a new international organization with Lion Fight Promotions, you know, the king of Muay Thai in America. But now we're going to go all the way to Lithuania. That's what we're going to do for our 3rd international organization with a name that everybody seems to know, Bushido. That's right, guys. These guys have been around for over 10 years. Casey, talk about what they do at Bushido and some of the exciting fighting they do.
Well, like you said, the name says it all. You know, this is a big Eastern Bloc promotion. You know, these guys are tough, you know, rigid, and, you know, they come for war.
No doubt about it. Well, as far as Bushido is concerned, there's a number of events coming up. You have SWAT 24 on September 23rd, King of Kings World Grand Prix in Moldova on October 1st, and then Bushido invades London on November 5th. Now, how exciting is it, man, to get another organization in here? I talked to Donatas Simonitis, the CEO of Bushido, and he was so cool about providing this footage, and I think everybody is just really enjoying us putting it out here in the States.
Man, we're excited, man, but we're just getting started.
No doubt about it. You gotta love these international fights. It's just something new, right?
Oh, the international fights are amazing. It's something you can't see in the U.S. Right now, as far as I know, this is the only channel and then the only show that you're getting international fights like this on.
Well, Well, you may be right, Nate Jolly. You may very well be right.
It happens. It happens sometimes.
Only here on MMA Inside the Cage. Now, you can check out BushidoFC.com for more information on Bushido. But are you ready for this main event, partner?
I think so. I think it's time to rock.
Let's do this thing, man. It is from Bushido Heroes 2009, and it's our MMA Inside the Cage main event of the week.
Chegios Sambo Combat Champions. Hell Cage Champions. Hell Cage Team Czechia. Tomasz Kuzma! Medalius Rigo Kampas, daugkartinis džiudžitsu turnyrų čempionas, ketvirtojo tarptautinio aukšto reiks turnyro nugalėtojas, Suomijos Cage čempionas, Lietuva, Petras Markevičius! Pirmasis raundas. Laikom komandos klojimais. Petras Markevičius, Lietuva.
Neduok laužimų, nepaduok. Nėra kada ilsėtis, dirb spaus reikia. Dirb, eik iš tų kojų, Petrai, iš tos įkabinimų, eik. Eik ant rankos. O tai. Dirbi, spaus, spaus. Spaus. Dirbi. Dirb, rankos, dirbi, Petrai, dirbi. Opa. Dirbi, neduok ilsėtis, dirb. Opa, dirbi! Vienas, du, gyda! Opa! Vienas, du! Vienas! Eik ant jo vėl! Davai, dirbi, spaus! 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 Nemiego! Ką darai? Spaus! Pasim normaliai! Gadau karst! Imi, pasim trankas į ranką! Postav se! Vytrni to, postav se!
Petras Markevičius, Lietuva.
Time to wrap up this episode of MMA Inside the Cage. Next week, you got... What?
Yeah, still here. Yeah, just FYI.
Sorry about that. Ladies love Nate Jolly. He's going to be fighting Jamie Varner, XFC 14, October 21st, live on HDNet. Before you get out of here, Nate, what can people expect from you?
Fireworks. When Nate Jolly shows up to any town, especially Orlando, Florida, where they're right next to the coast that got good sushi and things like that, Nate Jolly's going to show up and do work.
All right, enough said. Well, next week, 3 more exciting fights on the menu. And Casey, how can our adoring fans get a hold of us here at MMA Inside
Well, as
the Cage?
always, get us on Facebook at facebook.com/MMA Inside the Cage, Twitter at twitter.com/MMA ITC, or you can email us at MMAinsidethecage@gmail.com.
I'm Cyrus Fees.
I'm Casey Oxendine.
Ladies love Nate Jolly around here.
And we'll see you next week on MMA Inside the Cage. Awesome, brother. Fantastic. Always good to have you.